right, this is our last training for our prep week for the Power Hour Challenge. And today we are going to be talking about the fourth 15-minute session in your Power Hour, which is Engage 2. We are going to engage again, but it's going to be a little different than the first time, and we're going to talk about that in this video. This Engage session is all about replying. It's all about striking up those conversations with people. This session right here, this last 15 minutes of your Power Hour session is where all the magic happens. This is where the sales happen. This is where the joining your team happens. This is where the bookings happen. This is where it happens. So this is really, really important that you take this time every single day. And you're going to find that when you do this every single day and you have this dedicated 15 minutes to handling these types of engagement and these types of replies, when you do this every single day, you're going to find that, I like to call it sweeping the corners. I don't know why I just visualize it like this, but when we have a lot of leads and we have a lot of people that we're juggling and we're trying to manage, it's we feel like people fall through the cracks. Well, this 15 minutes is to prevent people from falling through the cracks, through the cracks, not the craps, the cracks. And that's where we like sweep the corners. I'm like, get in the corners. Let's find everybody who we've got there. So I'm going to show you how you're going to do this in your Power Hour session. So first of all, if you are registered, give us a shout out. Who's registered for the challenge? I want to see you in the comments. Tell us that you are registered. Tell us what you are most excited about. The challenge starts on Monday. And if you aren't registered, go to powerhourchallenge.com and make sure you get registered for this challenge. It's going to be awesome. Awesome, you guys. So we've got cash giveaways. We're going to talk more about what the challenge is all about here at the end of this training. So if you aren't sure what it is, then you will know. So let's jump in here into today's training. So we've talked about the Power Hour. What is the Power Hour? So your Power Hour is 1 hour split up into 4 15-minute segments. And each of those 15-minute segments are going to be a dedicated IPA time that is going to build your account on Instagram and is also going to connect with potential leads and turn them into customers. So we've already talked about Engage 1, okay? Engage 1, the purpose of that Engage session is to get visibility on your account. It's to engage on other accounts who have audiences you are looking for, okay? So it has like audiences, and it's to get you noticed, and it's to get people checking out your account. If we don't have visibility and people aren't seeing your posts, it's pointless, right? You want people to see your post. So we need to kind of warm up the algorithm and go engage with some people. I think a lot of times we forget that social media is a social platform. We're supposed to socialize on it. And just so you know, any social media platform, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, the point is they want you, the algorithm wants you engaging with people. So that's why we engage twice, because we really want to be having that connecting with others on it. So it is a social platform, so it's really important that we're taking that time to engage with others. So Engage 1, that is for visibility. It's also going to get some more engagement on your account as well. The second 15 minutes, we're going to create and post a post on our Instagram feed. The next 15 minutes, we're going to post a story, and that's going to connect with people and initiate the DMs. We talked about that yesterday. And then the last session, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is Engage 2. And in this 15-minute time, we are going to engage to reply. Engage 1 is engage to reach out with an R, and Engage 2 is to engage to reply, another R. So reach out, reply. We have to do both things, and they're kind of the bookends of your entire Power Hour. So that is what we are going to be talking about today, engaging to reply. So during this time, you're going to be replying. And in your packet, there is a checklist of who you should be replying to. But you might decide you want to take, here, I'll do this on the full screen so you can take a screenshot of this so that you know this. I would just go straight down this list in order and reply to people on there. First thing you want to do is you want to go through and you want to respond to anybody who's commented on your post. You want to reply to them. Then anybody who's replied to your comments on other people's posts. So what you did during Engage 1, a lot of times people will reply to your comments on other people's posts. So go reply to them. So go have those conversations with people. That's what you want. That's the goal. You want the conversation started. Reply to anybody who's initiated with you in the DMs, who's reached out to you in the DMs, or who you have an ongoing conversation with. Go check your DMs. How many unread messages do you have? Start there, and then you can see who's reached out to you. Reply to stories engagement stickers. Go into those engagement stickers and go reply to them. I'm going to give you a script here of what you can say to reply to those stories, a really simple one, when people reply in your stories. So once you've handled all of those engagement, okay, you've handled the comments, you've handled your DMs, you've handled your story stickers, then what you want to be doing is you want to be moving the needle, right? You want to be moving people to the next step. You want to be inviting them to your virtual events or inviting them to your Facebook group, whatever that next step is that you want to be doing with them. You want to be inviting people to that. And that happens in the DMs. That happens in the DMs. You are inviting people in the DMs, not in the comments of your post. I'm going to say that again. You are inviting people in a one-on-one conversation in your DMs, in direct message, not in the comments of your posts. Get them in your DMs to have that conversation. You want to be coaching them to get onto your virtual event. So anybody you've got to remind that you've got a virtual event coming up, go coach them in the DMs. I always say, communicate with people where you met them. Okay, so if you met them on Instagram, don't try to get them onto text message or email or even on the phone. Stick with Instagram. That's where you met them, so stay with them on Instagram. Now, when they become your customer, that might change. You might decide to start texting them, but the best place to start is meet them where you found them. Okay, so coach them in those DMs to get onto your next virtual event. So go to your guest list, who's coming, and go coach those people. Follow up with anybody who attended your last virtual event or anybody that you sent to your Facebook group. This is the time where you're going to follow up. That's where you're sweeping those corners. Follow up with any potential team members, anybody who's heard about the business opportunity. Go check in with them. Find out if they're ready to make a decision. So that's what you're going to be doing during this 15-minute time. And how many do you engage with? As many as you can. That's it. As many as you can in that 15-minute time. Once that timer rings, save the rest for the next day. Okay? I know it is really tempting that we want to, when we post, we want to keep checking back. Like, did anybody comment? Did anybody comment? Did anybody like? Who liked? Do I have any DMs? And you can spend all day. And I've done it. Especially when I post a really good reel that I'm really proud of. I'm always like checking, like, how many views did I get? Who commented? Who messaged me? And it's really tempting. This power hour session, I want to be very clear about this. This power hour time is designed for you to get this done during that hour. And whatever you don't get done during that hour, you shut it down. You get balance in your life. You do the things that are important to you. You live the life that you are hustling for. That's the point of this. Go spend time with your family. Go do something for yourself. Go, go take a walk. Go exercise. Go do those things. I want you to feel after this hour session is over that you can go live your life, that you feel complete, that you did what you could for your business. How great will that feel when you finish that hour and you're like, I'm done for the day. I'm done for that. Besides anything that might be scheduled on your calendar, you're done for the day. That's it. So don't fall for that temptation to feel that you have to be doing this all day long. Save it for the power hour, because guess what? Tomorrow you're going to have 15 minutes to do it again. And you want to have people to be talking to. So just go in order, prioritize, and you'll get to the next people the next day. That's how you're going to sweep the corners. So what you're going to need to do, right, Tracy? Oh, that would be awesome. Isn't that awesome that we would actually live this life that we are hustling for? You guys, I don't know if you've learned this about me, but I'm pretty anti-hustle. I hustled for a decade in my business and I got burnt out and exhausted. And we can very often chase that carrot and never get that carrot and feel like we constantly have to be working on our business. And I feel that we've been indoctrinated to that. We feel that if we aren't constantly working our business, then we don't deserve the goals we're working toward. And that's just not true. There is a smarter way to work. There's a strategic way to work. And so after this power hour is done, I want you to feel that you can go let go of your business. You can shut it down. You can close the door and you can go live your life, because that's what this is all about. right? What's the point of doing this if you can't live your life? So do not be a slave to your business. Set aside times to do this stuff, and be very focused in your work. Be productive in your work. And then when you're done doing your work, apply that same focus to the important things in your life, right? Okay, so here's what I want you to do first. Well, this is going to be my assignment for you today. And yeah, we are going to go into training, but I want you to know this is what we need to have in place first. You need to know where you're sending people to. You need to know what are you going to invite them to. So when you get on these conversations with them, where do you want to point them to? Are you pointing them to your Facebook group? Are you pointing them to a beauty assessment form? Or are you going to schedule virtual events? I recommend virtual events. So schedule 2 to 3 virtual events, okay? And I would put them for either later on in May and the beginning of June. So 2 to 3 virtual events, like sort of at least like, so you want to give 2 weeks for this to really start working. So schedule it out, and you want a lot of people at them. So schedule it out maybe after the 15th is where when you'll really start to do that. If you already have a lot of leads and a lot of customers, then by all means schedule these earlier. I just don't want you disappointed that you've scheduled and planned these virtual events here in like the first week of the month, and you just haven't engaged with enough people to invite them to yet. So that's just what I'm saying there. But you plan these virtual events. So I want you to plan 2 to 3 virtual events. I don't care if it's a skincare class, a color class, a pampering party, or if it's a recruiting event. 2 to 3 virtual events. What is your goal that you want to be inviting them to? 1 second. The dog's barking. Go ahead. Sorry about that. And those of you who are in the academy, we talk a lot about this in the Insta Starter Kit course. By the way, that was just updated last month. So if you have not checked it out within the last month and you are enrolled in that, or you want to be enrolled in that, definitely do that. This will teach you how to basically automate the enrollment for your events and to figure out where you're sending people to. So you could do a Facebook event, you could do a Zoom event, you could do a YouTube event, like a YouTube live, or you could I love to use Eventbrite for booking things. So you decide what you're going to do and make sure you've got that ready to go, that you know exactly what you're inviting them to. So in the packet, let me show you this. In your packet is going to be a page that looks like this with a live event calendar. Okay, and this is a close-up of it. And so in here, I want you to schedule 2 to 3 events this month or the beginning of June, whatever you want to do. So you pick the date of the event. You are the host, okay? These are not things that other people are hosting. 2 to 3 events where you are the host. You are planning this event. So pick 3 dates that work for you. It doesn't matter if it's going to work for your audience. The right people will show up, okay? And if they can't show up live, they can watch a replay of it, right? So what kind of event is it going to be? Is it going to be a skincare class? Is it a recruiting event? Is it color, pampering? Write it down here. Hosted by me. You're going to write me on here. I've given you extra spaces if you have for anything that's hosted by a hostess. Or if your director has events too, put those on here. A lot of our directors, I highly recommend, if you are doing this Power Hour Challenge and you've got some of your unit members doing this, plan a couple events for them to be able to plug people into. Because it's way easier if they've already got an event that they can invite people to rather than them having to plan the thing. So where are you going to host it? Is it going to be in a Facebook group? Is it going to be a Facebook event? Are you hosting it on Zoom? Is it going to be YouTube? What are you going to do? And what is your primary offer? So if it's a skincare class, are you primarily offering the Miracle set? Is it a color set? You should know what your goal is for your events. And then this for you to check off. Have you posted the event and have you invited people to the event? Okay. So plug that in there in your packet on this page right here. Let me get my mouse here. On this page right here. So pick 2, 3 dates. Okay. So what are you going to say? This is what most people ask when we get to this thing. What do you say? So here's a rule of thumb. If someone comments with an emoji, just comment with an emoji back. So if they comment with like a 100, comment with like a smiley face. Or you could say, glad you liked it. What do you think was your favorite? What was your favorite part? But I just basically, if they if they don't have the wherewithal to like leave me a comment and they just want to do an emoji, then I just respond with an emoji and keep it easy, because it's like, what do I do with this, right? So lesson to you, don't be that person responding to people, like commenting on people's posts with an emoji, because they don't know what to do with you, right? So you remember, it's a social platform. We want to be social with people. So you can also try, and not even also, your goal is you want to engage them with a question. So one thing you can do is you can reiterate your call to action question from your caption if they didn't respond to it. So let's say you say something like, maybe your question is, what do you do to switch up your makeup in the summer? Maybe that's your question for the post that you posted. And let's say their comment is something like, love this. And then you can respond with, be like, I'm so glad you love it. What do you do to switch up your makeup in the summer? Just reiterate your question to them. So if they don't answer your CTA question, ask it in the comments if they don't respond to it. You could ask, what tip is your favorite? What resonated most with you? What's been your experience with finding new foundation shades? I'm just pulling things off the top of my head that what you might be posting about. So those are some questions that you would want to ask. You want to get that back and forth going, that conversation going with them, so that, and then you want to get them into your DMs, okay? So how are you going to reply to stories? So here's a great stories script that you can just reply to. If you are in the content library and you're subscribed to Ruby or above, you're going to get specific scripts for how to reply to the specific stories we give you to post. So we tell you exactly what to say with how they replied. But if you're not in the content library, then here's an easy response. You can just say, hey, thank you so much for your response to my story. And you can say, like, tell me more about what you're struggling with. Tell me more about what you're looking for. Tell me more about what you're interested in. If you want a softer way to say it, you could say, would you mind sharing with me a little bit more about what you're struggling with? So that's just a really easy script to just get the conversation flowing. You want to think about this like you're coaching them. You're asking them questions. You are their beauty coach. Find out what they need. Mary Kay Ash always said, right? Find a need and fill it. Find a problem and solve it. Find out what is their need and how can you fill their need. What is their problem and how can you solve it? And you got to be willing to be a human being here and not have an agenda. I say that again. You've got to be willing to be a human being and not have an agenda. Okay? You need to just have an organic conversation with people. You need to listen to them. You need to answer or ask questions, answer their questions, help them with those things. And then when the time is right, when there's an opportunity, you say something along the lines of, well, I don't know if you'd be interested in this, but I think this would be a really big help to you to help you solve your issue with oily skin, or to help you figure out the right foundation shade for you. I have this event coming up on this date. I can send you a sample pack of products. I'd love for you to join us live, and even if you can't attend live, I can send you the replay. What do you think? So find a place to please be a human being. Please. Let's not get the bad reputation that other companies have. Can we do that? Can we be above what other people are doing? These spammy messages. I just got one the other day. It was like, would you be open to an opportunity to blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, would you be open to actually being a human being and talking to me like a person rather than just spamming me with random messages about your business? That's what I wanted to say. Like, I mean, seriously, like, please don't be one of those spammers. Don't. If not for your own sake, for the rest of us, because we have one person out there representing Mary Kay and being spammy and being weird and being a robot and just having your own agenda and the dollar signs and your goals in your eyes. One person does that, it makes the rest of us look bad, right? So please, for the sake of your Mary Kay sisters, be a human being, be authentic, breathe belief into people, love on people, solve their problems. You might not even be able to solve their problem, or it might not even be with your business. That person might just need a friend to talk to, or maybe you can point them to somebody who can help them. But look at it like you are diagnosing their issues, right? They're going to be talking to you, and you should be diagnosing how you can fill that need that they have, how you can solve that problem that they can have. So please take the agenda out of it. You you will know as a person who has talked to people your entire life, you will know when that time is right and when to then invite them to what you need. And the thing is, we're not going to be desperate here because you're going to have so many leads that you're not going to know what to do with, that you're not going to be desperate to, that you need to be, every person is going to be a sale for you, okay? So that's, as Tina said, preach. That's my little soapbox here. Okay, pro tip, to be even more like a human being, do voice memos. Let them hear your voice. Let them hear that it is not just you behind a keyboard, typing something up, copy and paste. Talk to them. Use those voice memos. That is a super easy way to do it. And even if it's just one, say, hey, thank you so much for replying to my story and responding to that. I totally hear you that you are struggling with finding a skincare that doesn't make you break out. If you feel comfortable, would you mind telling me a little bit more about what you're struggling with and what you're looking for? Like, if you say that versus type it, it's going to mean so much more to them because it's going to be genuine and it's going to be tailored to them and it's going to be a conversation with them. So use voice memos in the DMs as much as possible. So I want to warn you, in the beginning, you're not going to have much to do during this time. Okay, unless you have been on social media for a while and your DMs are always filled up and you always have a ton of engagement. But most people, your first week, maybe even 2 weeks, you're not going to have a whole lot of people. This thing has to build momentum. That is why we are doing this for 28 days. Okay, we need to start building that up. And that takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes repetition. Okay, so I don't want you to feel bad if on day one you're like, well, I've got nobody to reply to. I've got nobody who's responding on my post. I've got nobody in my DMs. Okay, that is okay. It's normal. It's totally normal. And I'll tell you, even with me personally, if I've gone a long time without doing my power hours, without engaging with people, it's a few days before I start getting messages in. And very often during this time, you're going to be replying to the comments from yesterday. Not the stuff that comes in within that last, because you only have had 45 minutes for comments and replies to come in. So just so you know, like, you're probably going to be just replying to yesterday's stuff. So day one, you probably won't have anything to do during this time. So what should you do? Well, you should, if at all possible, you should be doing more IPAs. You got 15 more minutes to do the IPAs. You could post another post. It never hurts to post again. It's more eyes on your stuff. Do an extra 15 minutes of Engage One. That's the one that I really recommend, okay? If you don't have anybody to reply to, do Engage One again and start getting more visibility on your stuff. Go interact in your Facebook group. If you got a VIP Facebook group, go do that ATM. If you're in our if you've taken our Facebook group training, we teach a process called ATM that is going to bring in new members and is going to convert them to your bookings. Go ATM your new Facebook group members. You can make customer service calls, booking calls, referrals, texting people. Check in with your team and your unit members. Check in with your upline. If you really want to, go take a break, but I really recommend during this time that you spend this time on IPAs. In the very least, if you don't have any of that to do, go do some training for your business. Go into our Instagram Academy. Go on In Touch, do Color Confident, Skincare Confident. Hone your skills, but spend this time wisely. I probably shouldn't even put the take a break in there because really during this, you shouldn't be taking a break because in the posting, if you've scheduled out your post, that's different. You have a post out, you've already done that IPA. But for this one, yeah, I'm going to cross that out. For this one, instead of taking a break, let's take the break off the table. This one needs to be IPAs. This needs to be something that is going to grow your business. It's just 15 minutes. So figure out something that's going to grow you. Okay. All right. So action steps. First of all, if you're not registered for the challenge, please register for the challenge. We have a few days before we start. It is not too late. Get in here. We want you here. We need people in. You're missing out if you don't. It's $10, okay? And here's what your $10 is going to get you. You're going to be eligible to win cash prizes. The more people who participate, the more cash we have to give away. You're going to get resources and a tracking sheet. Oh, by the way, I'll show you this tracking sheet in just a second. I forgot to show you this part. You're going to get accountability text messages from me where I'm going to keep you on track. I'm going to keep you motivated. So I'm in front of you being like, hey, How's it going with your power hour, right? And as my gift to you, you're going to get $100 off the Instagram Academy for Beauty Consultants. Everybody who registers for this challenge is going to get a coupon code to get $100 off the Academy. So in the Academy, it's our training course, actually 10 courses. It's specifically geared toward beauty consultants and working your business online. I give you videos, workbooks, scripts, templates, everything you possibly need. Plus, you're going to get a 30-day trial of our content library. So if you are all thinking about this, do this now so you've got posts for May that we've already created for you. You're going to get those for free as part of this. On the topic of tracking sheets, before I move on, I want to show you here I've got a tracking sheet for you to track your leads. And you can print out as many of these as you want to. But this is for, I totally forgot to put this in there, to track your leads. So you can write down their handle and their name. Check off that you've sent them a DM, they're in the DMs. When you've invited them to your event, if you send, so this is just that layering sheet, but it's like a online version. And you can put a check here or a date here to keep track of it. That you've confirmed them, that they attended the event, that you followed up with them, that they purchased, that you did a sharing appointment, and put here when they've become a new consultant. So this is a tracking sheet for you to track those leads, and you might have hopefully you'll have to print a bunch of these off, okay? So that is for you. You also get that in the packet, excuse me, when you register. If you're already in, excuse me, print out that packet. Invite others. You get points into this challenge, into the drawing, the cash drawing for everybody you invite. And then schedule those 2 to 3 virtual events to invite people to this month so that you know where you are sending people. That is what I have for you today. That we have completed our prep training. So here's how it's going to work on Monday. And I will go live and post another video of how to do this. But when we go live, actually, let me show you this. It is not loaded yet, but when we go live on Monday, in here, you're going to see, I'm going to give you a couple videos. Okay, there's going to be one video that is a power hour session with music, and another video that's a power hour session without music. It's a 1-hour video where I take you through your power hour, and I'm silent for most of it, okay, because I don't want you distracted. But basically, I tell you when your 15 minutes is up, and I'm like, all right, now it's time to move on to the next session. We're gonna post a post, and now it's time to move on to the stories, and we're gonna be talking about that. So you can watch the video. You don't even have to set your own timers. All you have to do is click play. And I will take you through your power hour session. I will remind you of everything you need to be reminded of. And it's glorious, you guys. Like, it's going to take you through this entire thing. So you can choose if you're one of these people that you're like, I want motivate. So earlier last week, I posted in our Facebook group where I said, share with us your favorite motivational song. So I've created a playlist. I wasn't able to get everybody's songs in there, but I created a playlist of motivational songs so you can do your power hour with some awesome motivating music playing in the background, or you can do it silent. So I'll give you 2 options because I know some people are distracted by the music, so you decide what you want to do. I'm a music person, so I'm like, I want to be pumped up. I want to be hearing my favorite stuff because most of these things, you don't need silence in order to do it. You're creating a post. You might pause it or turn it on mute while you post your story, that sort of thing. But anyway, so watch for that. Those will not be in the Facebook group. You have to be in the challenge to get that power hour video. Okay? We will not be sharing that in the Facebook group. That is a special thing just for those who are registered, okay? I'm going to take you through that. Can you do a power hour without the video? Sure, absolutely you can. Can you do a power hour without being registered? Absolutely, you can do a power hour anytime you want to. Now you know what you're supposed to do with it. But being part of the challenge gets you into that cash drawing and gets you all those resources as well as those accountability texts, okay? So anyway, you guys, I am signing off for the weekend here. Oh my gosh. And by the way, I know some of you are having trouble with our website. Hopefully we've got this fixed, but just so you know, we're working on it. It should be okay if you go to powerhourchallenge.com. That link should still be working. Basically, if you get an error message that says the site has been, it's a deceptive site, it is not. a deceptive site at all. I have had Google check it through. We have not been hacked, okay? I'm not phishing your information. It is totally safe. It is a glitch with something called an SSL certificate. I'm not going to go in the details of what that is, but basically there's an issue with how it's been loaded on my site, and Google is flagging it and isn't supposed to be. So I'm trying to figure that out. So anyway, so just so you guys know that, you can absolutely still go on the site. It is perfectly safe. Okay. So anyway, I'm signing off for the weekend. I'm going to get some R&R and some family time this weekend. Hopefully I'm going to get over this dang cough for the weekend, because we are going strong on Monday. And I hope you get some great quality family time and personal time this weekend too. All right. Monday's the day. I will see you there. Have a great weekend, everybody.